Okay, to bring everybody up to speed on the Sac County Solid Waste Agency, the committee has sent Mr. Winkleman a letter of that we're thinking about discontinuing his services at Sac County for the recycling. And what Dean Stock has requested from each city in the county is what it's going to cost to upgrade if we go to Carroll. So in order to do apples to apples, that's what I've presented to you, is what I've got there, and I've got to get this to Dean. This does not mean that we're going to Carroll. This does not mean that we're going to drop Winkleman. This just means that we're trying to get some leverage, because our cost in the last 3 years has over doubled.
The Howard Center.
Or the Howard Center, I'm sorry. Or, well, it's right.
I know what you're saying, but you need to be specific.
We need to do something so we can get a cost savings from the recycling part. So what I've done is I put together some numbers, and those numbers have come from me. I personally drove from City Shed to Sac City to the Howard Activity Center. I kind of drove it like I had a trailer on behind, so I drove slow and stuff, and I figured it all out. And then I also drove to Carroll to the recycling center. This does not mean that we are just going to definitely drop Sac City, because we've got discussions to be made. Excuse me. What I wanted to do is just to bring you up to date. If there's any questions, or do you see anything out of line of what I've presented to you, I tried to go apples for apples on everything. I took the same man that's doing it now and everything. And Daryl and Muck helped me on the costs, miles per gallon. And all the wages were figured the same. This has to be presented to Dean Stock, so if there's any changes or anything you'd like me to make, please let me know before I present this to Dean. Because what we're trying to do is apply some leverage to Mr. Winkleman to see if we can't get our costs reduced at the Howard Activity Center.
This will probably have raised the cost of this.
Now 77.31 versus 165.70.
We don't know what.
I didn't realize. So what's he charge us?
I'd have to go back into my notes from the Sac County landfill stuff.
What happens is the Howard Center is presented, when the Howard Center takes the recycling in, they sell it for a revenue. They show the revenue, and any expenses that are not covered by that revenue are transferred back to Sac County Solid Waste. But what they're doing now is they're tacking on administrative fees.
Considerable high cost. Now the other proposal that is being kicked around, and I really entertained the thought of this, guys, because I'm really very hopeful about this, is putting a building up at a center point in Sac County. And then there's an outfit out of Omaha that would come up and purchase all our recycling at a very fair cost. I would like to see that put in Wall Lake to myself, because that would add jobs and a location here. Why not Sac City? Because it's probably the northernmost spot. So that's just another thought that we're trying to entertain. When I talked to Rudd Sanitation, they were up to our last Sac County recycling meeting. They were thinking the cost for them was going to go to $400 to $800 a month per pound. I showed you what Lakeview's is going to, or Wall Lake's going to cost you. Now, why he's thinking that much, I have no idea. If he makes more trips from like Lakeview or Odebold, I have no idea. He wouldn't elaborate on it, but that's just what I'm telling you. He told us. That's just what he told us at the landfill meeting. So I'm going to drop this off to Dean Stock before our next meeting to see what we want to do for a proposal. In every town, Shaler and Lakeview and Odebold, everybody has to make a proposal, but those ones that are done, like by Rudd Sanitation, which is like Odebold, Lakeview, he's got 4 towns, Odebold, Lakeview, Auburn, and Early. he has to make proposals to Dean Stock for those towns. Lytton, Shaler, those two might possibly go to either Buena Vista, which I doubt because they're thinking about closing their doors for the recycling. So we don't know where for sure they're going to go. Or they'll have to go to Carroll, which would be a longer trip for them.
Cherokee.
They could go to Cherokee. That was kicked around also, yes. So just wanted to bring you up to speed on what's going on there. And what we're proposing. So we've got some time. Our decision's not going to be made. What we want to do is put a proposal together to present to Mr. Winkleman to see if he will renegotiate his contract with us. We would like to see it kept in Sac County because one point that was brought up is once your money leaves Sac County and goes to Carroll, where's your money stay? In Carroll County. And we'd like to keep it up here in Sac County. So if we can get also, if we go with that central point thing, if we can get it here in Wall Lake, that's going to be more revenue for Wall Lake, more jobs for Wall Lake, and we'll have a central point. Granted, the people that come up pay a premium price out of Omaha, but they pay a good price for our recycling.
So why can't they just do that at the Howard Center?
I
Why
don't,
don't the people in Omaha just go to the Howard Center?
This doesn't make any sense here.
Howard Center, I think, its own entity. It's its own.
Yeah, it's
Well, who do they sell their stuff to?
I don't
So
know.
we would be too.
Yeah, who do they sell their stuff?
I gotta find out, I don't know.
They sell, I can tell you that they do not sell glass. Glass is the one recyclable that they get that does not go anywhere. Yeah, I mean, it goes, but they don't get reimbursed for it, especially green glass.
Yeah.
The cardboard goes to a company out of Sioux City.
That's correct, because that was mentioned also.
The plastic goes to,
You hear where the plastic goes.
to Omaha and Minneapolis. And the white paper goes to 2 or 3 different places. I know that there's a place in Georgia. Rock 10 is one of them.
Carroll County was going to charge us $20 per ton for a recycling fee. I do know that. And we didn't know if that was going to be set in stone for like so many years, or if it was just a 1 year or 1 month or 3 months or 6 months. We don't know. Dean Stock was supposed to be checking that out. And he was also going to check in to see if, when we go down there, can we just empty the trailer, commingle. We don't have to worry about segregating. So he's going to check into that. Don't know about that either yet.
That's the way they're doing it, isn't it? That's the way they're doing it.
They commingle?
Yes.
Don't know about that. Dean Stock is checking into that for us. So I'll keep you updated as far as all the reports I get on the feedback.
Yeah, I just think if it's gold bracket is Omaha, why don't we just do the existing system and go to Omaha? I mean,
Well,
why it's,
what we've got to do is we've got to get away from the Howard Activity Center because his costs have just infatuated. They over doubled, but they haven't quite tripled in the last 3 years. Franny, you must have been on the board up there at one time.
Yeah.
Because they talked a lot about, when you were up there 3 years ago, how you guys had negotiated some sort of contract with him or something like that. And it's just ballooned out of proportion.
He has to make up for what he's losing through Medicare.
So that's, and everybody's a little disgruntled in the county. And I'm talking Sac, Shaler, Lytton, everybody. He's gouging our pockets a little deep. So, and I'll keep you posted on all the updates from what I can find out. Okay? That was just to bring you up to speed on what's going on. I will turn this into Dean Stock if everybody likes what I've presented. Right?
Me.
No questions? No. I kind of compared apples to apples because you got to turn in something like that. I mean, you can't offset everything one way or the other. So, okay.